season of witchcraft, the tree is missing some of its heads, which, spoilers, is actually a big deal.
Someone has stolen heads from the Tree of Whispers, and it is the Wanderer's role to discover the mystery behind who is taking the heads and to what end.
As you progress through the storyline, you work with the Coven, and in exchange for your help, they will give you their own powers. And then you can utilize these powers in Season of Witchcraft.
If you're not familiar, the Tree of Whispers is this ancient tree with heads. You can come and ask for favors from the tree itself, but it will ask for something in return.
Notoriously, no one has been able to get out of their deal with the Tree of Whispers, until now.
Who is it that's been freeing these heads from the Tree of Whispers? And what are the fugitive heads themselves trying to accomplish now that they're free from the tree?
And these stolen heads are scattered all around Sanctuary, causing chaos and spreading strange rot, taking over the bodies of the living. Head rotten are what happens when a head from the Tree of Whispers attempts to graft itself onto an already living creature to reclaim that life. They retain some of the tree's power. Brambles and roots grow along the inside of these creatures, bursting out and causing them to essentially have a head detach. And they don't mind sacrificing their living victims in their pursuit to live again.
During the course of the season of witchcraft, you're going to work with different witches to help solve the mystery of the missing heads.
The witches of Hawazar are a coven of witches and chose to serve the Tree of Whispers in exchange for its power. At this point, hatred is spreading all throughout Sanctuary, and for the first time, it's managed to launch an attack at the Tree of Whispers. And though the tree is still standing, it's definitely worse for wear. And the witches that are bound to the tree have to set things right. Investigate, hunt down these heads, and through gathering strength in their witch powers to deal with the encroaching threat, they will be able to uncover what the mystery is.
In exchange for your help, the witches are offering you their witch powers. And this season, you're going to be able to tap into 3 major categories of witchcraft power.
Una has eldritch powers, which are tied to the cycle of life and death.
Eldritch powers are the witch's form of dealing damage directly to enemies in the form of fire damage, burning damage, shadow damage.
Galena has power over psyche, which is illusion and seeing the unseen.
Powers of the mind, will, and soul, and they're the ones that protect you in battle. Growth and decay powers are powers of the swamp.
Caden deals with the body, disease and poultices, familiars.
They're the ones that decay your enemies and heal you in battle.
So you might be going for a fire sorceress, for example, and decide that you want to have ancient mystical frogs helping you in some way. These are going to be things that you're going to play with to get new levels of power and unique builds that really are special to just this season.
Every class can use every power for every build.
There is also lost witchcraft power that can be found while you're adventuring.
This is a special witchcraft power that exists outside the purview of traditional witchcraft powers. So as players progress through the storyline and they complete Whispers, they will earn a seasonal currency. This seasonal currency is used to, 1, purchase witch powers, and also upgrade your witchcraft powers. An example of an eldritch power would be a new power, Doom Orb, an ominous orb of pure eldritch energy that circles you and burns enemies with fire damage. Doom Orb gets stronger as you slay enemies and will eventually explode. Doom Orb will also launch itself at enemies if no enemies are near you. So we do have some returning fan favorites coming back in Season of Witchcraft. Players who are fans of our franchise will remember some of these powers are from Diablo 3, specifically the Witch Doctor. Fire Bats is returning from Diablo 3. Those who have played the Witch Doctor also remember the Hex skill, the Toad of Hugeness. However, it's been reimagined for Diablo 4 and Season of Witchcraft. This is the Poison Frog Servant.
I just think it's adorable, and I want to have a murderous pet frog follow me through Sanctuary.
Of all the witchcraft powers, something tells me that players are probably going to be the most excited about Prawn Meetup. It's effectively a whirlwind of water and chomping piranhas that will just shred your enemies to pieces. And yes, it does pull enemies towards it.
So players will be unlocking and upgrading their various witchcraft powers through performing headhunts. You're going to see that there's an area in the world where the Tree of Whispers has detected fugitive heads. The head rotten are there. You need to go hunt them down. When they interact with other monsters in the world of Sanctuary, best case scenario, they horrifically corrupt that monster to become a new headless form of itself. Worst case, they actually affix themselves to a monster and become a new boss-like entity that has this ancient rotting head on top of this now puppeteered body.
There is a horror in them, a sort of Frankenstein-esque monster. So they have more humanoid traits, but even stronger powers.
Like flaming swords they're going to be throwing at you, or they might be using poison axes that are hurled your way, or even shadow spears that tear up the ground. So these are going to be some new encounters that you've never seen before. As you perform various whispers in the area, hopefully you see briars out in the world. These are going to indicate that there's a head rotten there. If you manage to successfully take down one of the head rotten and claim a fugitive head, this can be returned to the witches at the Tree of Whispers, and you're going to get special seasonal Soctables as a reward. On top of that, there will be some new whispers out there. You might have a chance to help a bewitched frog, or there might be a lost wisp that needs to find its way home. As you engage in these whispers, you're going to get reputation with the witches, as well as seasonal currency that you can use to unlock and upgrade your witch powers. So we've seen a lot of great feedback from our players on what are the various features that they most want to see in Diablo 4 to make our game even better. One that's come up quite a few times is an armory. When you save a build in the armory, it's going to take a snapshot of everything currently on your character. Skill tree, paragon boards, your glyphs on those boards, and all of your gear. Players will be able to access the armory UI from any major city. You're going to be able to pursue multiple different builds on one class at the same time. This can be pretty cool when leveling up, but it's especially fun once you get into the end game. At that point, whenever you find a cool item that, oh man, this is really strong, but not for the build I'm running right now, oh, but you can still use it. You can still save out separate sets and try to pursue getting really powerful setups of very different versions of your class at the same time. I am excited of what it could feel like to constantly be swapping between these different builds and seeing which one is the most powerful.
I'm excited for people to just immerse themselves in the season.
Me personally, I'm very likely going to be running a companion druid build with the grow power to have a giant werewolf army. Hell yes.
We have a quest line that is different and emotionally gut-wrenching.
New witch powers, fugitive heads, new whispers.
Really interesting bosses that have unique attack patterns.
Uniques, legendaries, and new runes for Vessel of Hatred players.
There's a lot to try out here, some builds that have never been present before. I'm excited to see what players do with it.